Welcome back to SmartCoder, and we are back with another video. In this video, we will learn how to integrate socket programming in our Flutter application using Node.js and Socket.io. So this is our application. We have two applications. First one is that receiver application where we are going to integrate the Socket.io, and second one is that sender application, and from here we will send the live location of the user to the first application via socket. It will track that. So let's put some longitude and latitude over there. So we are putting that longitude latitude for the Delhi city. So now if I click on a send, from here you can see that location has been set for that Delhi. We are able to see that marker also. So now again we will change the location here. Now we will change the location to the London. And from here we will add. Now if I click on the send, you can see here that location has been changed to that London location. So before starting the video, if you are new to our channel, subscribe the channel by clicking the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. Thank you. So first of all, we have to use this package, that is socket.io, in our Node.js application. This will create the real-time Node.js server in our application, and that will help us with the real-time communication with our Flutter application and that Node.js application. So implementation is very simple over there. First we have to install this package in our application, and then we can create that server connection and all, and then we can listen to the client and emit that messages or whatever the data we want to send to all the clients. So let's move to our Node.js application. So from here we will create our Node.js application and we will open the terminal, and here we will put npm init. It will initialize the project here, and we'll put here yes, all the information is correct. So now we have to add the package over there, and we will copy this one and we will execute over there. We will put here --- save, and it will save in our package.json file. So here you can see that package has been added here. So we have to add one more package, that is express also, and from here we will add express. It will add the package over there. So now we will create one file, that is index.js file, index.js, and this will be our server file. And from here we will add the code. We will add one variable, constant http is equal to required http. Then we have constant server is equal to http dot create server. Then we have constant server, and we will get it from our required socket.io, and here we will create constant io is equal to new server, and we will pass this server here. Then we have to define the port also. Constant port is equal to process.environment.port. If not found, we will use 3700 port number. So here it is very simple. We have to just start the connection here by putting here io.on, and after that we will listen to our event, that is we are going to use our live location tracking and all. Then we will listen the event for that position change. Then we can also send that by using emit, by sending that data receive or to all our client which are connected to our socket and all. Here we have io.on, and here we have connection socket. Here we will listen for socket.on position change, and we will check for the data which is coming here, and we will emit that data to all the clients which are connected here in that our io server. Right now we are just doing that demo parts, that's why we are not putting any validation or anything like this data should be emit to only specific client. We are just emit that data to all the clients here. We will put here io.emit, and we will put here position change. Here we have position change, and we will emit the data whatever is coming. So basically what it will do, it will just listen for this position change. Like if any sender send any data for this event for the position change, then we will emit from here, and we will pass this data to all the clients which are connected here. And also we have that socket.disconnect also, and if we want to do any event on that disconnect, that also we can do. And here we can put socket.on disconnect, and we can do whatever we want to do, but as of now that is not required. Then from here we will just start our server, we will put here server.listen. We will put the port here and we will just show the message here that is server is started on that particular port. We have console.log listening on and we'll put that port here, port. So now let's start the server here. For that we have to just run the command here npm start. So here we are getting some issue. Let's see what the issue is. So in the package.json we forget to add the command here for the script and we will put here start and we will put here node.slash/index.js. So now if we put here npm start, it will start the server and we are getting here listening on that port number. So our socket server is ready and it is listening on that localhost 3700 port number. So what we did here, so we have created the index.js file and there we have created that server and all, and from here we have created a server and then we have the port number here, and from here we are listening on the connection of that IO, and then we are listening for the socket for that particular event, that is position change. So whenever we get any data in this event, we will emit that data to that event to all the connected clients over there. Then here we have that event for that disconnect also, that also we can do if that is required for any case, but as of now that is not required here. Then from here we are just starting the server by putting a server.listen on that particular port number, and here we are just showing that message that is listening on that particular port number. So now let's move further and we will do the integration of this socket server in our Flutter application by using some packages and all. So in our Flutter application, we are going to use this package that is socket_io.client, and we have to make sure we are using the correct version in our application. So that we have to match here. If in the server, if we are using version 2, then here in the client we have to use the version 0.9 or 0.1. Else if we are using version 3 and version 4 in our socket.io server, then we have to use version 2.0 in our socket.io client. So let's see what version we are using in our socket.io that server. So here in the server we are using version 4.4. That means in that Flutter application we have to use version 2.0. So for getting the version, and we have to click here in the pre-releases, because in that version 2.0 that is coming in the pre-release, and here we will click here and we will copy this. So now let's move to our Flutter application and we'll start the integration and all. Now we will go to our PubSpec and here we will add the package here and we will add here. And also we are going to use the package for our snippet coder utils for text box and all, because this is a center application and we are going to create two text box. One is for longitude and second one is latitude, and one button for sending the location, snippet_coder_utils, and version we are using here 1.0.12, and we will save it. And we have to do, because the center application we are using here that Android, and for the Android to make that socket.io workable, because we are doing that socket with our localhost, and for that we have to go to our Android manifest and all, and we have to do some modification over there. And for that we have to go to their Android folder. Here we have app folder, then we have the source folder. In the main folder we have the Android manifest. We will open it, and here we have to add some line of code. We will add here Android uses clear text traffic is equal to true, and we have to add here Android network security config, and we have to give the path here. Then we have to create one file there @xml/network_security_config. So now we will copy this name and we will go there here in the resource folder, and here we will create one new folder that is XML. Here we have to create new file, and name of the file will be network_security.config.xml file, and here we have to add some line of code. So here is the code that is network security config. Then we have to create here base config with that clear text traffic permitted true. Then we have trust anchor certificates source is the system. Then we have the domain config, and there also we will put here clear text traffic permitted true. and there we have to include a domain here with the subdomains, and here we are putting the IP address of our local machine where we hosted that our NodeJS server for the socket, and on the basis of that it will work in our application. And inside the lib folder we have to create new file, that is home_page.dart file, and we will make it as a stateful widget home page. Here we have to import package socket.io/client as IO. Here we will get the object here late io.socket io.socket, and name of the object is socket. Then we have to create two more variables, double type of nullable latitude, then we have double type of nullable longitude, and here we have to create that global key for our form, because here we are going to create the form here for the two fields with the text box. Static final global key form state global key is equal to global key form state. So here we have to create one function for initializing our socket connection and all. We will put here future void initialize socket. We will make it as a async here, and here we will put try catch exception. We will print here e.toString. Here inside the try we will put here socket is equal to io.io, and we will put the URL here, and the URL will be http://192.168.1.2 and that port number. And make sure you are putting the correct IP address here for your application as per your Node.js application, and then only it will work. String dynamic, and we have to pass two variables here, transports WebSocket, then we have auto connect true, and from here we will connect it socket.connect, and here we will listen for our socket connection and all, socket.onConnect, and we will print here that socket ID and all, print connect socket.id. So once the connection is successful, it will print that socket ID of our application, and we have to call this initialize socket from our int state, and we will put here void int state, and we will put here @override super.inState initialize socket, and also we have to put here dispose function also, override void dispose socket.disconnect super.dispose. So what we did here, we have created one object for our socket, then we have created one function for initializing the socket connection and all. Here we have created the object for socket with our URL for that socket server. Then we are passing here two variables. First one is transports WebSocket, then we have autoconnect true. Then here we are just calling that socket.connect, it will start the connection over there. Then here we are listening if that is connected, then we are just printing here that socket.id here, the connection ID and all. So here we will just create the form here, and for that we have to just put here safe area child. We are using a scaffold widget. Inside that we have that body part. Here we are just calling a form with the key. We are passing a global key. Then we have the child here, and we are using a column widget. Then we have the children's here. Inside that we are just using a form helper dot input field, and here we have to put the key name, that is latitude. Then we have the hint text, that also will be latitude. Then we have the onValidate function, that we will cover later on. Then we have the onSave event also. Here in the onValidate we will check here if onValidate dot is empty, we will return here required, else we will return here null. And here in the onSave we will just assign the value for our latitude variable. Latitude is equal to double dot pass, because the value we are getting here is in the string, and we have to pass it with our double because the variable is in double data type. And here we will put, and the border radius we are using here 10. Same we have to do for the longitude also. We will just copy this and we will paste here. We will change it to longitude here also, and the variable we will change it to longitude. Here we will get the button also, form helper dot submit button. Here the name will be send location. Here we have the on type event, and before that we have to create one function here, bool type of validate and save. Here we have final form is equal to global key dot current state. Here we will check if form validate, then we will return here true, and we will call here form.save, else we will return here false, and we will call this function from here if validate and save. Then from here we will just emit the data, that means we will send the data to our socket server and all. And here we will create one variable where coordinates is equal to, we will create the object here, lat assign with our latitude, then we have that long, will assign it with the longitude, and from here we will call socket.emit. Emit will be required if we have to send any data from our application to the socket server, then we will call here emit. In case we have to just listen to any event, then we will call here socket.on. That also we will cover in our receiver application. Here we have to put that event, that is position-change. And from here we will pass here JSON encode, and we will pass this object. So it will send the data in our string format, and in the receiver application we will decode this data. So now let's test the application, is it working or not. Before that we have to go to our Node.js application. Just to test is it working or not, we will just print this console.log this data. So we will send the data from our send application, and in the console we will check that data is coming or not. From here we will start npm start. So now here we are getting listening on port number 3700. So now we will run our sender application, and from there we will check, and from here we will start our emulator, and we will go to our main.dart file, and from there we will link this home page. Here we will change it to home page. Here you can see that form is coming, but that there is a spacing issue and all. Let's fix that. Here we will add the padding here, and from here we will add size box height 10. Then we will copy this, and we have to paste here also. So here we are getting the space. So now let's open that Node.js server also, and from here we will just send some data here. Now if I click on the send location, so here we are getting some error. So let's see what the issue is. So here we have to remove this on tab. So now let's reload the application to see. And from here we will put anything. Now if I click on a send location, so here you can see here we are getting here latitude this, longitude this. So again if I change it to any other longitude, latitude, if I again click on the send location, you can see here we are getting the location in our Node.js server, that is socket server in the real time. So right now we are just doing the demonstration with our manual sending that location, but we can also do the similar way with our location from the device also by calling that location function, and from there we can send the longitude, latitude this to this socket server in the real time, and this one is also real time, but that location we are sending manually. So our sender application is ready. So now let's move further, and now we will create our receiver application with that Google map and all. So now we will create our receiver application, and for that first we have to import some packages, and for that we have to go to a PubSpec, and we are going to use two packages here. And the first one is the socket IO client, and the version we have to use the same which we use in our sender application. And the second package is Google Map Flutter, and this will be used for showing the map in our application. So here we are just using our iOS, and for that we have to do some modification over info.plist so that we can enable that localhost, that is for accessing our HTTP for the socket and all. And for that we have to go to iOS folder, and there we have the runner folder. Inside that we have the info.plist, and here we have to add this key ns app transport security. It will allow us to access that HTTP without any secure connection and all. And here we have to put ns allow arbitrary loads. So now we have to go to the app.delegate.swift file, and here we have to pass our key for our Google map and all. Here we have to put this line of code, gms services.provide API key, and here we have to pass that API key. And also we have to import here Google Maps, and we have to pass this API key here to make our Google Map workable in the iOS application. So now we will go to our lib folder. Here we have to create one file, that is location_map.dart file. Here we will make it as a stateful widget, location map. Here we have to add our socket, and first we have to import here, import package socket client as IO. Here we have to create the object here, let IO dot socket. Then we have to create the markers here for our Google Map. Late map marker ID marker underscore markers, and we have to import here. Here we will override void end state, and here we will put super dot end state, and from here we will get the object for markers is equal to marker ID marker. Then here we will call markers dot clear. Then we have to create one function here, future underscore void end state, and the name of the function will be int socket, and here we will put try catch, and here we will put socket is equal to io.io http 127.0.0.1, and here we can also put that localhost IP also, string dynamic, and we have to pass two variables. First one is transports, that will be WebSocket. Then we have autoconnect true, and we will connect here socket dot connect. Then here we have to create the listener here, socket dot on, and the event name will be position hyphen change, and this one we will cover later on. First we have to create the map, and this initialize socket we have to call from here, and here we will print e dot to string, and we will make it as a async here. And here we have to create the controller here, completer Google Map controller underscore controller is equal to completer, and here we have to create that variable for showing that default longitude latitude. Here we will put static constant camera position underscore camera position is equal to camera position, and target we have to pass here longitude latitude, and we are using this one. Then we have to put the zoom here. By default zoom will be 14, and here in that build we have to pass here scaffold visit. Then we have the body here, and we are using here Google Map, and here we will put initial camera position with this variable. Then we have the map type, and we are using here map type dot normal. Then we have the on map created, and we are using here Google Map controller underscore controller dot complete, and we will pass this controller. Then we have the markers here. We will use here set markers of underscore markers dot values. So let's run the application, and before that we have to map this location map page with our main.dart file, and here we have to remove this one, and we will import here. So now let's run the application to see. So now we will run our application. So here our application is working, and you can see here we are getting the map here. So now let's move further. Now we will go to our listener for the socket, and here we will create one variable where lat long is equal to JSON decode and this data, and we have to import here dot convert, and here we will create one variable final Google Map controller is equal to await, and we will make this function as async here underscore controller dot future, and from here we will call controller dot animate camera, and we will pass here camera position, and here in the inside our camera position we have to pass here target lat long, and here will be that variable name lat, and the second one will be lat long. This we will pick from here, and here we are getting that coordinate in our object format of lat and long. Then we have to pass here zoom 19, and here we will call camera update dot new camera position. Then we have to pass this variable, and from here we will create one variable where image is equal to await bitmap descriptor dot, and here we will call bitmap descriptor dot from asset image, and we have to pass the configuration image configuration. Then we have the asset name assets slash destination underscore map underscore marker dot png file, And here we have to create one folder, that is asset folder. And here we are having one file, that is destination map marker. And now we have to also go to our pubspec, and from there we have to enable this folder. And here we will remove this one and we will change it to assets. And we have to stop the application. And from here we will add here marker. And here we will create one object for the marker. Marker is equal to marker. We have to pass the marker ID, ID. We can put any ID here. Then we have the icon here, and we will pass this image. Then we have to pass the positions here, and position will be in the similar format. This one we will copy this and we will paste here. And here we will put await. And after that we will call here set state, and we will set the state of that markers with this new position. And here we have markers, marker ID is equal to marker. So now let's run the application to see is it working or not. So now we have to also open our sender application also side by side. So here we have our application. So now we will put some longitude latitude to see is it working or not. We will first put that latitude for our Delhi, and here we will put longitude also. Now we will click on that send location. You can see here we are getting the location here as per that longitude latitude which we have provided. So now again we will change that location to somewhere else. Now we will put the location for the London, and here also we will change. Now again we will click on the send location. You can see here we are getting that new location as per that longitude latitude sent by that sender application, and we receive that in our receiver application with the help of our socket server which we have created in our NodeJS server. So in the same way you can do for that live tracking also. This is a live tracking, but we are doing that, sending that location in the manual way, but you can also do on the polling also, like by using that location listener, and from there it will continuously send that location to that socket server in the real time also. So in this video we will learn just about that brief information about what is socket programming with the NodeJS and the Flutter application. So in the upcoming video you are going to learn more in our NodeJS series of grocery app with the proper integration of that driver application and that client application for the tracking of that order. So that's all in this video. I hope you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share. I will come back soon with another awesome video. Thank you for watching the video.